Sanbona and Sanbon, guys. I was actually thinking of a quote, and I thought of the best quote by this guy called Penson Mlodra. It says, "You can't raise a turtle the way that you raise a tortoise." This is my talk on being a father, part two, and the whole quote is around a turtle and a tortoise may look the same. They may look the same, but they very, very different. I've got three sons, three amazing boys, and I look at how boys are raised in today's time in comparison to how girls are raised. And I've been at different schools. I've been a teacher for over 10 years. And one of the things that I picked up at a very young formative age is that boys and girls are raised in the same way. And I think that's detrimental, and I think that's a toxic thing. We can't be wanting a society of men, society of women who have different checklists, if I can call it that, if at the foundational level we are raising them the same. What do I mean by that? Generally speaking, if I go to Usisi and I say, Sisi, how would you describe a good man or a man that you are attracted to and one that you want to build with and one that you want to love and be the father and your husband one day? She'll have a certain checklist. I need a man that can do this and a man that do this and a man does da, 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 da. And then if I were to ask her around being a good woman would have different traits. So a good man might have to do with a lot of, he must be able to provide financially, emotionally, he must be able to protect me, he must be able to da 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 da. While the female might be tended around things around nurture and being able to build and la 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 la. So you have two different criteria or checklists when it comes to being a good woman and a good man, generally speaking. However, if you walk into the standard grade 1 classroom where there's boys and girls, you start realizing they're given the same criteria of being a good student. So being a good student, you work da 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 da. Girls can also run very fast. Boys can also run very fast. Girls can also do maths. Boys can also do maths. And there's no differentiation. You know, when they do a creative piece in class, they do poetry or they paint a flower, or when they're on the sports field, they're both throwing a cricket ball, and they told at the formative and the foundational phase that they are one and the same thing, but they're not, because when they get older, the same female who's been built in a certain way will be looking for characteristics that she does not possess. The same male will be looking for characteristics that he doesn't possess. So now when you look at how to raise a son, it's not the same way in which you raise a daughter, because the society has different expectations. If I'm with the female and the tire bursts, the expectation that society will put on me is for me to be able to change the tire, regardless of the background and the fact that we were in a school that raised us the same. If I'm in a situation where I'm hungry, I will look at my partner to make me a sandwich, whatever the case may be. That's the expectations, you know. You can say no, but pens and times have changed. I'm telling you, generally speaking, if a woman and a man, boyfriend, girlfriend, are walking together and some criminal comes through or figgy par or whatever and spanks her on the bum to a point where she feels violated, she will look at her boyfriend or her man or her husband for protection, even though they were raised the same at that formative years. So that's how I see fatherhood of fathering sons. If I had daughters, I would not raise them the way that I'm raising my sons, because the expectation on women at a later stage is not the same as the expectations that will fall onto my sons. So with my sons, I'm very, 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 very aggressive with them. Yes, I kiss them. Yes, I love them and I hug them. I also need to show them affection. I'm not made of stone, and I don't want them to be made of stone either. But with that being said, I need them to understand, Uguti, they will have a lot of pressure put on them. They will have a lot of a masculine pressure put on them, especially when shit hits the fan. You know, examples of Ukraine where all of a sudden the feminists are quiet. You know, females got to leave, children got to leave, men had to stay and fight. There was no feminists who were fighting for equality then. because they understood Uguti when shit hits the fan, the woman needs to be a woman and look after the children. That's why they left, and a man needs to be here and protect the country. So I'm raising my kids understanding Uguti that might be called upon one day in their lives, and they have to be ready. A tire might burst and everybody will stop and look at them, and they might be ready. Something as silly as a spider pops up in the bathroom, they might be ready. They have to be ready for those type of things. The expectations aren't the same. One day they'll take a lady out on a date and the expectation will be for them to pay. Yes, there's many females who are happy to go Dutch and pay 50-50, but generally speaking, the expectation will still fall on the man. So with that being said, that's how I'm choosing to father. I'm looking at the end goal. What type of man do I want them to become, and then I start moving backwards from there, so that in X many years time, when they enter the dating market and women are saying there's so very few good men left, and then they go, but there's amazing guys like Uzis and Danzi Nondima, but the rest are just trash, because it speaks to what the woman needs, not necessarily what she wants, but what she needs in the current climate. But anyway, guys, I'm going to be doing a lot of these rants around fatherhood. So please like, subscribe, join, comment. Tell me if I'm doing something you like. Tell me if I'm doing something you don't like. How can I grow? How can I become better? Teach me. I don't have all the answers. Now I'm learning. So please just guide me as well. But leave a comment and I'll try and get back to you. Anyway, Nibe Krent, guys. Sharp.